Now this picture does not do him justice because Garvey describes him as a almost looking white guy. He's got light eyes and he can pass for white. But this is him. This is Jack Jones. This is James E. Amos. This one, whereas Jack Jones was a spy, this one was overtly antagonistic, anti-black towards Garvey. This guy really, if anybody should be strung up, it should be him. He's got an interesting background. Doesn't even have a high school degree. But what's his claim to fame? Because he's big, burly, 6'4". He used to be Theodore Roosevelt's personal bodyguard. He gets a job anytime he wants. So eventually, of all of the black FBI agents, he's the only one who makes it a career. Because the other ones, after 3 or 4 years, they realize even this is too much for them. Like, the racism is too much. But he loves his job. Oh, yeah.
There's always that one.
Then there's Arthur Lowell Grant, Thomas Allen Jefferson, Earl Titus. All of these. Yeah, these guys should at least thank Garvey. In fact, Garvey, they'll never be hired. And by the way, does anybody know who's running the Government Intelligence Division of the BOI, the Bureau of Investigation?
At this time.
Who's a 24-year-old recent law school graduate, J. Edgar Hoover.
That's right.
Hoover learns when he does COINTELPRO in the 50s, this is his learning, this is his experience. That's why when it's time to go after the Black Panthers, the Black Muslims, he's perfected it. It's on Garvey, he learns all of this. He was 24 years old, just graduated from law school, Washington University in Washington, D.C. At the time, they had 5 different government agencies after Garvey. The first one is the Military Intelligence Division. The second one is the Bureau of Investigation, the Government Intelligence Division. That's the brand, that's the agency that J. Edgar Hoover ran. You had the Postal Service. They were after Garvey because he's sending the Negro world through the mail. Here's the trick why you need to be economically independent. All the others, whenever the government put stress on them, they had to cower down. But Garvey's got his own money. What did you for? I got my own money. State Department. They were after him like white on rice. Garvey in 1921 in February decides to go visit the Caribbean. By then, he's bigger than big. So he's doing a tour of the Caribbean. When he steps out of the country, they try to prevent him from coming back. Every port, they refuse to give him a visa. But this is why you have money. Every time they prevented him, he just catches another boat and goes to another port. It was like a big cat and mouse through the Caribbean. It lasted from February to July. And here's the worst part, or the best part. He got stuck in British Honduras, now called Belize. So he says, I read Up From Slavery, cast your bucket down where you are. He said, so I'm going to stay here and build. Overnight, membership quadrupled. They stopped him in Port Limon in Costa Rica. He increased membership there. Everywhere he went, in Colón, in Panama, he increased membership there. So, big time, cat and mouse, cat and mouse. Finally, the U.S. government says, whew, it's hard to keep a black man down. We got to do something. They said, you know what? Bring him back. Let him come back. We'll take him out here. Because it's not working. Because he's got the economic funds. It's amazing. This is what they catch him on. I mean, you had over 70,000 stockholders of the Black Star Line. Do you know how many agreed to testify against him? 18. That's not even 1/10 of 1%. Of the 18, that got down to 9. The one that they used was a guy named Benny Yancey. They claimed, Garvey had 3 ships. The 4th ship, he was in the process of negotiating to purchase it. So in one of the brochures that Garvey didn't create, that Garvey didn't stamp his approval, that Garvey didn't know anything about, went out to Benny Yancey. And that's what they convicted Garvey of, fraud. That he claimed in his brochure he had the 4th ship when he wasn't there yet. That's a reason to go to jail? Come on. No, it's the reason to go to jail when you can create $1 billion worth of wealth, when you can uplift a race, when you can build a whole government. That's the reason to go to jail. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what next? Sharon, what do you think we should do next? Increase membership. Brother Ngubo, what do you think we should do next?
Groundwork.
Groundwork. Charles, what should we do next?
Lift the race.
Uplift the race. Mr. Duncan, what do you recommend? Being the president and the sole heir to Mr. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. What do you say right here, right now?
You know, unfortunately, all of us, we're very selfish. We think about self, and we don't realize that we're not here because of only our efforts.
Come on down, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
I think people need to hear you.
Yes,
Come down. Here.
people died for us, as Marcus Garvey said it best.
Men who are earnest are not afraid of consequences. He knew by he building this empire, he knew what would happen to him. Raymond and I, and the other brothers and sisters here, we realize that the only way we can bring back our community is to organize. If you go into the other communities, be it the Oriental communities, the white, the Indian, 9 out of every person in that community is a member of an association. If you ask us here in our community, maybe 1 out of every 100, they say you can judge a community based on what it does for its children. Folks, when our children are being harassed in the streets, when we're the only people who send our children into a school system that benefit by miseducating them and don't get involved, something is wrong. Something is wrong when we begin to own business in our community and we don't give back like the other people. Something is wrong. I choose to be a part of the UNIA because after looking at the infrastructure of the UNIA, what Garvey and our ancestors did back in 1920, I knew that if it weren't for them, I couldn't be where I am today. I couldn't have attended a university here. I couldn't have done anything. Anything. As I said before, the Koreans, the Italians, the Jews, all of them do business in our community. Do you think I could take my restaurant to a Korean neighborhood and survive?
I don't think so.
Do you think I could take it to a Jewish neighborhood?
Listen, that's one question. If you ever went on a black man restaurant and say, I can't man a black man restaurant. No. Never say a black man something, I can't man restaurant. Black man, China man something, a black man restaurant.
So folks, what happens? Because we don't own the business in our community, we don't own the real estate, the dollar comes in at 9 a.m., folks, it leaves by 5 p.m. The other communities, especially the Korean, it stays at least 24 days. But the thing is, I'm going to tell you again, we're selfish. What we want, let me tell you what we want. We want to have a nice car, we want to have a nice home, and we manicure the lawn, and that's all.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine had owned a Marcus Garvey Center in Brooklyn. And downstairs from him was a Korean food stand. So the Korean gentleman said to him, I own 7 of these stores. So my friend said to him, where do you get all this money from to open these stores? He said, I get it from the Korean Association. They give me any amount of money I want, and I make sure I pay them back so the next Korean can get a loan. So my friend said to him, since we're good friends, can you introduce me to the Korean Association so I could get a loan? The gentleman said, no. He said, Korean Association for Korean people. You must go to the Black Association. My friends, where's the Black Association?
Right here.
Right here.
Right here.
432.
Right here. Right here. When we built the UNIA, every black person was considered a member of the UNIA. There are only 2 members, 2 types of members. One who is active, the other who is inactive. Brother Marcus, Tell these folks what they must do to activate their membership.
Pay your dues.
That's all you gotta do. Because you know what? Our children are relying on us. When I was the chief of staff for the city council, a Jewish man came in to speak to me about funding. Of course, I was controlling the money at that time. So he wanted to talk to me. So of course he took me out and buying the expensive lunch. Hey, I don't mind. So he said to me at the end of the day, you know, Mr. Duncan, in our community, when the police stop our boys, they have to speak to us before they arrest them. Plain and simple. They have to speak to us before they arrest our children. Let me ask you. You have a son, a daughter, a grandchild. This police system is going to stop them one night. And they count on us because they know that when they stop us, we are alone. We don't have an association to defend us or to come in support. So they're going to stop your boy. They're going to treat him like he's an animal. And then all of a sudden, you're going to say, where can I turn? Where can I turn? The thing is that you haven't invested in an association to stop that from happening to your child. So what I'm saying to you, you must commit yourself today. If you don't want to join this association, join another association. Because like the police department, they want to listen to somebody. In the Chinese community, they listen to the Chinese. In the Jewish community, they listen to the Jews. In the regular Caucasian community, they listen to them. However, we listen to them. Because since we're not organized, we listen to them. Brother Doogie, I want to thank you for the job. You did, hold on one second, brother. You're a little bit more important than the raffle. You know, Brother Doogie has taken it on himself to really study for the organization, to study Garvey, and to paint the proper picture of Garvey. Because oftentimes, the system here paint a negative picture of Garvey. Because they never want your sons and your daughter to think like Garvey again. Nope. They said that Garvey's racist. Garvey's not, he was never racist.
He didn't have time for that.
He didn't have time to hate anybody. All he said, love yourself.
That's it.
Love yourself first, for no one is greater than you. We're asking you to join us. We're asking you to put aside your selfishness. Excuse me for being so stern. But you know what? We must give back to something that has given to us. Our children need us. And we're thinking about our boys. However, our girls are going to prison at an alarming rate. So we have to stop that. Folks, we're going to close out, but before we close out, we're going to have the raffle. We'd like for somebody to win. But before we do that, in salute of the UNIA, I'd like for you all to stand. I'm going to ask you to follow me. This is the red, black, and green song established by our ancestors a long time ago. I'm going to say it, and you can repeat it. Ready? Praise the red, the black, and the green.
Praise the red, the black, and the green.
The brothers and sisters are being redeemed.
The brothers and sisters are being redeemed.
Open up your eyes and see.
Open up your eyes and see.
We're on our way to being free.
We're on our way to being free.
Because red is for the blood that was shed.
Because red is for the blood that was shed.
Black is for the race that's us.
Black is for the race that's us.
And green is for the land,
And green is for the land,
So the black man can take his rightful place.
So the black man can take his rightful place.
Everybody together now. Praise the red, the black, and the green. The brothers and sisters are being redeemed. Open up your eyes and see. We're on our way to being free. Because red is for the blood that was shed. Black is for the race that's us. Green is for the land, So the black man can take his rightful place. One time.
One God.
One aim.
One aim.
One destiny.
One destiny.
Long live Marcus Garvey.
Long live Marcus
Thank
Garvey.
you so very much.